So I would say that a couple of things that I learned from this course, and how how this course has changed my thinking about is that I didn't realize how much time and effort actually went into creating the lesson plans until I actually did it myself. And so thinking about a topic and relating that to your content standards for whatever subject you're teaching, and then taking into consideration a differentiation in instruction and teaching advanced or students that are excelling one way, and providing them, making sure to provide them with a challenge versus working side by side with kids that are maybe struggling a little bit more with the material because they're English language learners, or they're special needs or something like that. But yeah, just I really started thinking about the effort and the time that went into it that I didn't think about before, and then also how you have to be knowledgeable about how the lesson that you're teaching today ties into the next lesson and the next lesson down the road, and that there's this thread and this progression. And especially as an art educator, I thought about how I wanted that to build on itself and kind of stack up, that I was going to teach them the basics and the foundational stuff, and then be able to grow out of that later. Some of my major takeaways after, I think, reading the book and taking this course was just classroom management, and being really thorough with your rules and your expectations with the kids, so that they aren't trying to swerve around something that they think is kind of gray and unclear, which can lead to maybe disruption in your classroom or other issues. And I think another major takeaway was, again, with classroom management, that there was a difference between rules and expectations. So rules, some kids can see that as a challenge to break that, but an expectation, like something that you hold for them, that is something that they're going to want to meet. And so if you have low expectations for your students, then of course they're going to perform at a low level. But if you have high expectations for them, then generally they want to meet you and your expectations, and they want to perform. Lastly, what else am I looking forward to learning throughout the program? I'd say more classroom management stuff, and also just how to thoroughly plan out a lesson, and kind of have lessons planned out for the year, but also growing and being able to amend those lessons if I see that my students are really struggling, or they're not taking to it, or they're not finding it interesting or relevant. I want to ask my students after critiques and assignments and things if they're understanding, so that I don't come to a point somewhere in the semester where my students are completely lost. I never want them to come to that point. I want them to be able to understand where they are in my lesson plans and in the semester, and where we're going. And I want them to be able to track the progress that they're making, that they'll be able to look back on the knowledge that they came into the class with, and then they'll see the knowledge that they have now and see that that's really grown exponentially. And so, yeah, that's my reflection for CI 149.